want to follow on in reflecting on some of the teaching of the church. If we live in a church of communion and we are all baptized with the same baptism, giving us a role and a responsibility for the mission of the church, then we must think, how do we treat each other? What is our attitude towards each other and towards all other people? You're with Mission Alive. This is Roger from the MSC Mission Office. We have to consider what is our attitude towards persons, towards other people. Again, I'll refer to some of the documents of the church from the council and more recently from Pope Francis. In thinking of persons and how we live together, we need to look at what is our attitude towards persons. The teaching of the church from Gaudium et Spes during the council said, for the beginning, the subject and the goal of all social institutions is and must be the human person. All social institutions, that includes the church, and that includes all political, social institutions. And we can look at this a little bit in picture form and see what it means. What is our attitude towards persons, and how might we express this? People are central. Human and baptismal dignity. We all have human dignity, we have baptismal dignity. And this requires of us respect, dialogue, participation, and pastoral care of all people. There has been a mistake in the church that we have to protect the church, the institution, and this has been one of the downfalls with the crisis we have had with abuse of young people and older people. We have to protect the church, the institution. This is getting it the wrong way around. The institution and the law are there to serve people, not the other way around. The institution and the law is important and is evolved out of the history of the church, but they are there to serve people. So we have some little pictures there that might help us to see that. And unless we're serving people, unless we're putting people first, then we'll simply got it the wrong way around. Pope Francis is quoting St. Francis. And he says of St. Francis, in his simple and direct way, St. Francis expressed the essence of an openness that allows us to acknowledge, appreciate and love each person, regardless of physical proximity, regardless of where he or she was born or lives. It's a big challenge for us. And this is coming out of his experience in the Amazon, but also then it's in his letter, Fratelli Tutti. He further goes on about St. Francis, wherever he went, he sowed seeds of peace and walked alongside the poor, the abandoned, the infirm and the outcast, the least of human brothers and sisters. This is really challenging to us. And so St. Francis, in his way, changed the church. His influence on the church was great. He sowed the seeds of peace, walked alongside the poor, the abandoned, the infirm and the outcast, the least of human brothers and sisters. Here, Pope Francis' words are challenging to us, and much of what he said is in the way that he's leading the church. If we take Pope Francis' words seriously, which we should, because it's very much in line with the teaching of the church and the teaching of Christ, that people are important. And Jesus did that. Francis followed what Jesus did. Walked with the poor, reached out to outcasts. Remember, he reached out to the leper and put his hand on him, which also by the law put Jesus outside. We have to examine those and see first of all, what is my attitude towards people? Because from my attitude will come my action. We need to then look at people and think, what is my attitude towards people? How do I see them? And this is the way of the church. And this is the way that we are called to live. This is the way that we are called to proclaim our life in Christ. Thank you for being on mission with us.